Hello, Internet. Yes, it's a burn and learn. It's the day of Christmas Eve, and I'm burning and learning. 40 minutes. Holy moly. This is a burn and learn. For those of you who don't know, it is my bit to stay alive and fit long enough to raise my amazing son, who's about to get a lot of really cool presents. And to enjoy the coming twilight years of my brilliant, beautiful wife, Jane, who also has some fabulous things coming her way. I hate exercise. Exercise is boring, so I like to learn something while I'm doing it. I like to share what I've learned with you in the sweatiest, most miserable, grinchly way possible. And thus I am here on the very day itself, well, the 24th, I guess, on the very day before itself, to share my misery with you. So as I say, 40 minutes. I had a little chat with Bratlett, and we've decided that every other day during the holidays is probably half as much exercise as I need, and I'm eating 50 times as much food. But it's a start, so I'm going with that. The learn part of my burn and learn today on the 40 minutes. I did again. It's really cool. I watched the rest of Unnatural Selection. So fabulous. I was thoroughly disappointed there weren't more episodes. I thought it was an ongoing series, but it's only like I don't know, 3 or 4, however many I watched. And then it just ends, and I'm like, but it doesn't end. It keeps going. Let's do more. So Netflix, can you please do some more of those? They're really, really good. And thank you, David Ishii, for pointing that out. Fabulous find on Netflix there. And obviously Josiah Zahner for getting me into this stuff in the first place, and making me realize how freaking important it is. I really want to spend some of 2020 at the BioBench, showing some of this stuff to the kids. I know Let's Talk Science has some great genetic related stuff. So maybe I'll go through some of that with some kids. I just really think they need to know this stuff because it's literally going to define us in the future, whether we want to or not. And there's so many things to debate about it. I really, and so much science to do. I mean, I have them. Yeah, it's amazing. Watch this series. Great. Netflix. Thank you. And then I was sort of at a loss because the show ended, and I was like, where's the next one? Where's the next one? There is no next one. So I thought, oh, well, I'm in Netflix. I'll scroll around. And I found The Mind, another documentary that's actually really great, too. So another fascinating part of who we are, obviously, is our brain. And this series is going into how the brain works and really just in a very visually fun, sort of stimulating way. So I'm really enjoying that as well. I mean, maybe it's just the endorphins flying through my system, but I've really been enjoying this new one as well. So The Mind is the new one. They're talking about memory and how memory is so faulty because we don't really sort of remember things. We sort of pull memories from the rest of the brain and sort of try to piecemeal them back together again. They're often very inaccurate in how they sort of degrade over time. But there's actually almost, I'm talking about this really thing which I never heard of, a really cool thing which I never heard of before called, they're like these place cells. So in mice, they can actually sort of see the cells that dictate place, which I thought was just amazing. And then they talk about this guy who had his hippocampus removed. Problem with the brain is I cannot pronounce any of the things in it, it seems. So obviously my brain is missing that part of my brain. But yeah, definitely so far thumbs up from Hewlett on this one. And really well done Netflix on populating the documentary section with such great stuff. They all have Netflix stamped on them, so I'm assuming that they're in some way responsible for either funding or at least distributing them. It's I love watching silly escapist movies and series and all that kind of stuff. But the reality is when it comes to the burn and learn, it feels like time wasted unless I'm learning something. And the idea that Netflix now has this like chunk of good documentary stuff that I can plow through is really, that's great. I mean, I know the internet was supposed to be a place of education, and it's become a place of division and a place of misinformation. But the promise of the whole idea of online streaming is that we have the collective knowledge of the human race at our fingertips, even if they're kind of sweaty and slipping all over the screen. And it's just so nice when you can find it. You can find it in a form that's well made and well intentioned. So, anyways, have a check that out. That's The Mind. I guess I'm getting all kind of like philosophical now near the end of the year. As the year 2019 comes to a close and 2020 begins, I start thinking about all this kind of stuff. So, I will say to everybody, I got to go up and I've got to wrap a whole bunch of presents. I got to go have breakfast because I'm not making any sense because I staggered straight out of bed, gave my son a little hug and said hi, and then fell onto the torture device and did 40 minutes. So got to refuel. But I will say, have a wonderful, wonderful holiday, whether it's Christmas or Hanukkah, whatever. I don't know, whatever the heck's going on in the way of holidays here. I celebrate science. So have a great time with family, friends. This is the time to really appreciate what you've got. And I really appreciate everybody who is watching these, who's commenting on these. I really thought it was just an exercise thing, and I realize now it's an exercise both for my mind and my body. It's kind of fabulous, and I'm feeling very, very lucky for the people we've met. Thanks to the Burn and Learns, thanks to Baz and my little Twitch thing, Iron Ham TV, where we've been gaming together, and that's just been it's been a fabulous part of the year for me. That ever since the summer when we sort of I got sort of sucked into it by Bratlet, and we've just met some amazing people. So thank you, everybody, friends, family. Enjoy them all, and I'll see you probably after Christmas. So. Cheerio! Sweaty or not. See you later. Merry Christmas, Grinch. May all our hearts get much larger but not burst, because that's why I'm on the elliptical, to try to stop that from happening. So, cheerio!